What did Camus mean by revolt in the myth of Sisyphus? What are some ways to revolt without being destructive? Or should one simply be a good ant? Thank you. Well, that's 19K Mitch. Well, the first thing I should say about that is it's not so simple to be a good ant. Like, I think being a good ant is better than just being a chaotic and useless ant. And so you should probably go from chaotic and useless ant to good ant. That's a process of maturation. That's what happens when you move from being a child to an adolescent to a young adult. You adopt the strictures and responsibilities of your culture to discipline yourself. Now, if you stop at the point where you're a good ant, well, then I think, that's not so good. Then you're an avatar of the pathologies of your culture as well as an avatar of the virtues of your culture. So, but it's fighting against mere enculturation that's not virtue. That's failure. That's just failure to mature. That was actually one of Nietzsche's questions of conscience. Are you leading or are you just running away? Well, the answer to that almost always is you're running away. You might think you're leading, but the probability that you're leading, especially if you haven't seriously considered the possibility that you're running away, is like, really, what's the chances? If you really think about it, it's not that easy to lead, and it's pretty easy to run away. So, if you're not doing what other people are doing, you're probably running away. And you might say, well, that's pretty rough. It's like, fair enough, If you've got some absolutely unique destiny that you have to manifest, more power to you. But most of the time what I see are people who think they have a unique destiny, and really what they're doing is wandering off the beaten path into some thorn-ridden ditch where things are not going to be good for them. So, what are some ways to revolt without being destructive? Revolt against what? That'd be the question. I mean, you could try revolting against your lack of discipline. Like, that's good. That's a war. That's a war. If you want a war, maybe you do, because people need war. I think it was William James who said that people need a moral equivalent to war. I think that's what Jung was trying to discover, by the way, the moral equivalent to war. And I think he did discover it as well. And that's tied up with the idea of sacrifice. If you want to revolt, you should revolt against your own pathology and inadequacy and uselessness and resentment and cruelty and blindness, and you could have a war against that. You could revolt against that. That'd give you something to do.